Wondering what type of cabin to get for your next cruise?
Then this is the video for you.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Crystal.
And we are the Cruising Chicks. There are 4 main types of cabins on board most ships. They are interior, ocean view, balcony, and suites.
And then there are several subcategories within those categories. The interiors have family style rooms. Balconies, you can get obstructed, cove balcony, or just a regular balcony. Some of them vary based on location, floors.
Whether it's aft or mid or forward.
Yep. And then there's the spa floor. There are many different room options on the spa floor, and you can get access to the thermal suite.
That's always our plan. We never do it.
Yes. And then with the suites, there are many different types.
Yes. Way too many to list here. First on our list are interiors. And interiors are great for budget-friendly options. It's what we choose 90% of the time. Our only, and I would say only, problem with interiors is the lack of natural light.
Yeah, but it's great if you're not going to be spending a lot of time in your room and you're going to be attending a lot of the activities and checking out the ship.
Correct. That's exactly how we feel. Next up are ocean view rooms, which we love, but don't always feel is worth the upgrade from an interior. Depending on the price, really is how we judge it. But ocean view rooms give you a glimpse at the ocean with either a small porthole or a sometimes rather large window.
These give you the look and feel of what you would see off of a balcony, but without the price tag.
Right. And I will say, if you're looking closely, to make sure if you're wanting that look, to not book a porthole.
No.
It's not. Porthole's not worth it.
Very small.
Next are balcony staterooms. And I think these are probably the second, no, let's say the most popular stateroom available. And these give you private, I say private because there are cameras and there are people around you, access to sit out by the ocean in your own little space right off of your cabin.
They usually come with a few chairs, a small little table. You can go out there and enjoy your breakfast or room service, your coffee, put on your nice comfy robe.
Yes.
And you can also hang out there if, you know, you have 4 people in your cabin. It gives you a little more space inside.
It really does, and it helps a lot when we're getting ready.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
what we do.
If we've booked a balcony, it's because A, well, the price was great, but B, because we knew we just wanted to be able to spread out a little bit while we were inside getting ready. So the last category we're going to cover are suites. And suites are what we would consider the luxury prime real estate of staterooms. They give you a lot of extra, like, upgraded amenities. They usually have a good bit more space, and I believe, at least looking into them, that booking them gives you a few extra perks.
Yeah, it depends on the line, sometimes the type of suite you get.
Right.
But really, there are so many categories. Junior suites, family suites.
Right.
Each line is different as far as the different categories.
Yes, you can book a Royal Caribbean, like, Oasis class ship and have too many suite classes to think about.
Yeah, they have the ones that overlook the Aqua Theater, the aft suites that, you know, they have balconies that wrap around. Some of them have their own hot tubs.
Right.
You know, it's however much you want to spend.
Right.
you can get exactly what you want in a suite.
And we've never gone the suite route, and I don't ever foresee that we will go the suite route.
I would love to.
We would love to. I just don't think it's in the cards. We like to sail more often, and financially, if we sail in a suite, we ain't sailing for a couple of years. So we'll stick to those balconies and those interiors, thank you. So before we started filming this video, we sat down and pulled prices from Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian to see kind of what they were offering for all 4 of those cabin categories.
They were 7-day cruises.
Yes.
And Carnival and Royal Caribbean were in September.
Yes.
Norwegian was sold out in September, so we looked at August.
Now, these are somewhat comparable ships. All 3 relatively new to their lines, and all 3 which you would probably consider like a mega ship. Okay, yes. So we went with the Celebration, the Icon, and the Breakaway. The Breakaway was really our only option for Norwegian in general. So it was either that or the Norwegian Sky, and we weren't going to do that to you because that is in no way comparable to either of the other ships.
No.
So I don't know if we pointed it out that the Royal and the Carnival are both going to the same destinations, and the Norwegian was going to the Eastern Caribbean.
Yeah.
But again,
sometimes that doesn't make a huge difference in price, especially with ships like the Celebration, the Mardi Gras, the Jubilee. They typically will alternate those itineraries each week, and honestly, the prices are about the same.
Yes. So this will also kind of give you a line comparison in prices, but it will also give you a cabin comparison. So for Carnival, you can take that sailing starting at, for an interior cabin, $719 per person.
Yes. And that's based on 2 passengers.
Yes, but this is all just based on 2 passengers. So for an Oceanview, you're looking at $894.
For a balcony, it's $954.
And then for a suite, you're looking at $1455. And these are all per person based on double occupancy.
And they're just the basic.
Yes.
Basic interior, basic ocean view, balcony and suite. It's not any of the different categories. Those will go up from there.
Right. So for Royal on the Icon, for an interior, you're looking at $1,962 per person. And for an Oceanview, you were looking at $1,909.
And that's
per
not
person.
Something that we covered, but
it does happen.
Yes.
We've had it happen to us many a times, actually. Every time that you've ever seen us in an Oceanview category, it's because the price was cheaper than an interior.
Right.
That is about the only time we book them.
Right. So, I mean, why not?
Exactly.
I mean, just have the window. If it costs less, you know. There's some cruises where we want balconies, so we choose that. But in some instances, they may only have a certain type of interior left, probably one of the more upgraded interiors. And that's why the price is a little higher, making the Oceanview cheaper.
Correct. So for a balcony, you were looking at $2,233 per person.
And the suite, $2,914 per person.
Whew. Royal Caribbean can be a bit expensive, especially on their mega ships. But
yeah, the Icon is about that price for a little while. I mean, it just came out this year. It's huge. It's on commercials. Everybody knows what the Icon is. So it's going to be pricey for a little bit.
Yes, but it'll come down. Hopefully. That's what we're hoping, at least. So then moving into Norwegian, and we will say with Norwegian, I'd say like 95% of the time are offering what they call free at sea, which will give you free unlimited drink packages, They do $50 shore credit. I think it's just for the first passenger per port. And then you get free Wi-Fi for guests 1 and 2. And then you have the free specialty dining for guests 1 and 2. And I could be wrong about the Wi-Fi. They just changed a few of them to include everybody in the cabin. So the Wi-Fi could have been changed to that too. I don't quite remember. But yes, Norwegian most of the time offers those for free at sea options.
Now, they do offer studio rooms.
Yes.
For solo passengers.
And if you are a solo cruiser, like, Norwegian is probably your way to go.
Because normally if you get a room on a cruise ship and it's just you, you're paying the double occupancy price.
Correct. Now, they don't have any studio rooms left in this cruise, so we can't give you what the pricing would be. And they also didn't have any Haven suites left, so we couldn't give you the pricing on that. And that is something that Norwegian really pushes, is their Haven area. So
it's like a private pool area, a private bar, there's private seating. It's like its own floor. You have to have, you know, a special card to get in there, into the room areas. And you also get escorted to the elevators, right?
Oh yes, there are like a lot of different perks, and
yeah.
And whereas a lot of the cruise lines offer something very similar to this, Norwegian is the only one who books that outside of their other 4 categories.
Right.
Like for Carnival and for Royal Caribbean, you're booking that inside of the category that you're in. But Norwegian books, you can book into the Haven, and that's, you know, a totally separate entity for them.
Right, and I think you get to go to the front of the line too.
Yeah, they have a lot of perks with being in the Haven.
And similar is with Carnival is the Havana rooms.
Right, which doesn't really give you as many perks. That just gives you more of the private pool deck area. But like I said, that is you're booking an interior cabin, and then when you're in the interior cabin area, you can book a Havana cabin.
Right, and it's not on every ship.
Correct. So for an interior on Norwegian, you're looking at paying $1,309.
For an Oceanview, it is $1,399. Not much difference there.
Right. So that is one of those cruises where we would probably look at that and be like, well, might as well. For $90, maybe. For a balcony, you were looking at $1,449.
And then the suite, those start at $1,739.
Yes.
And like we said, they didn't have any Haven rooms, so we couldn't price those out for you. But they are more than likely going to be more expensive than the suite.
I would assume.
The basic suite,
I would assume so. So these are kind of just a breakdown of how the costs work within booking in these different room categories. Obviously, 99% of the time you're looking at an interior being your cheapest, most budget-friendly option. And you're looking at your suites as being your most expensive and luxurious options. And I think for the most part, balconies sell out the fastest. People want that private area to go sit outside and enjoy the ocean. But if you can't afford that, but you still want to be able to see outside from your room, an Oceanview is a great option.
Right. And this may depend on, you know, who you're traveling with. If you're traveling with a lot of people and you all want to be in the same room,
right?
You know, you're going to lean toward maybe a suite. So you can have all that space to mingle and sleep and all that.
True.
Typically the other rooms, their max capacity is 4 or 5.
Four for most. I think some of the family rooms
areas
may do 5, but I think 5 is the max on any of them except for suites. And I think it also depends on the area you're traveling to.
Yes. Like
if you're traveling to Alaska, whereas we didn't do it last time, we always highly suggest a balcony.
Right.
And if you're traveling like in the Mediterranean, you probably want a balcony. If this isn't your first time sailing in the Caribbean, you're probably more than fine getting an interior cabin and saving the extra money to maybe book a second one. Maybe do a back-to-back. Yeah. Who knows? But we always suggest sitting down with your budget first, seeing where you're at, and then picking a cabin category.
Right. I mean, you don't want, I mean, who doesn't want a balcony?
Right.
But you really just have to see what you have available.
Right.
And base that on your cabin type.
Right. And I always say, it's not like we're not going to be out of the cabin during the days. We're going to be out on the pool deck. We're going to be out exploring the ship. And then if we're in port, we're going to be in the ports.
Right.
So I don't ever feel like a balcony is a must. And I don't ever feel bad about us having to book an interior cabin. Because for the most part, we're not cabin dwellers.
No, but there are those people that they come on the cruise and they will stay in their cabin most of the time. Maybe they cruise once a month, or maybe they cruise every other month.
And they just want to sit on their balcony and enjoy good, relaxing waves slapping on the ship noises.
And then there's us who are go, 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 go.
Right, we never stop. So these are just kind of your options, kind of a breakdown of what they are and what your cost would look like.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.